Good morning, students. Uh, so this video is on the topic education and vernacular. I mean, that is translation studies and the second unit history of translation. And in this unit, the topic is going to be education and vernacular. So this is a simple topic. We shall complete this within this video. So last videos were based on Bible translation, and Bible translation is an important topic in the whole unit as well. So now what is there in education and vernacular? So the introduction is this. Translation is an important exercise to learn another language. Okay, so that is the idea here, and of course in teaching of English, when you go for third year, you have to go for go to school, and you have to do teaching practice. We will teach you that direct method is the best method, that is without the use of mother tongue. Okay, and so that is direct method, and that's how English or any language should be taught. In case of difficulty in understanding or teaching words, the teacher should use various audio visual aids. Okay, so that's how we will teach you. So in teaching practice, you should never utter any words in students' mother tongue. But in those days, that was not the case. To learn a language, translation is the best method. Okay, so a sentence should be said, and it should be translated in students' mother tongue, and that's how another language is taught. Okay, so translation is the best exercise to learn another language. Okay, and of course the main problem with let's say translation method of learning another language is that is especially in Indian countries. We have you Panania yourself. So when you migrate from West Bengal to Tamil Nadu or Pondicherry, and such thing happen in India as well as in the whole world. Okay, so for you students, and it is difficult, even the education system as well as to learn another language, translation method is going to be tough for you students. Okay, so therefore direct method is the best method, and by direct method only students will be able to speak as well as write and read. All the skills should be developed if the teacher follows the direct method. But in those days, translation method is the best method. That's how they felt. And let's say in direct method also there are some advantages as well as disadvantages. In translation method also there are advantages and disadvantages. Okay, so so translation is the best exercise to learn another language. So in order to learn another language, translation exercise, lots of translation exercise should be given to students. So in case of going to school and learning a language, translation is the best one. So that's how translation theories and people understood the value of translation. Okay, so this is the introduction, and what is given in our Susan Basnet book. Translation is helpful for education purpose. It happened before 15th and 16th century. When vernacular language developed, translation is an important exercise. See, translation in education. For education purpose, translation is an important exercise, and it is introduced in schools also. This happened before 15th and 16th century. Okay, that is what is it? 1400s and in 1500s in schools translation method was introduced to learn another language. Okay, and many Latin texts were translated into vernacular languages. See, vernacular languages here in the sense that is European languages. Okay, and most of the European languages are not the ancient language. Only Greek and Latin languages are considered to be classical. Classical, that is the ancient language. Okay, other languages are young language. They are not at all classical languages. Okay, so if this is the case, let's say after AD. Okay, after AD only many European languages developed. Before that, there was no proper European languages, predominantly Greek and Latin. Greek and Latin was used by the Europeans. But after AD only, many vernacular, that is European languages developed. As many European languages developed, and they have to move from one place to another, and they don't know the language, and to learn the language, translation is the best method. Okay, so to learn another language, we have to go to school, and in schools also this translation exercise is given. So the importance of translation developed with the development of vernacular or European languages. Okay, especially after PAD. Okay, and I mean, so as the vernacular languages developed, they don't know vernacular languages themselves do not have proper literature, and only Greek and Latin languages have many literatures, and therefore as the vernacular languages developed, many translators translated Latin text into their own mother tongue, that is vernacular languages. And at that time there are no proper translation theory. Unknowingly they simply translated, and so as they simply translated, they went for word for word translation, and they simply went for word translation, and they don't know the concept of sense for sense translation. If at all they do sense for sense translation, they did it unknowingly. Okay, so that's what happened for vernacular languages. Translation was not proper. And as far as English is concerned, English language is concerned, in 19th century, that is in 800s, King Alfred, okay, so he translated many Latin text into English language, and also encouraged common people also to translate literature from Latin language to English language. Okay, why he said to his people to give importance to translation? It is to protect English language itself, and also to protect English people. Okay, so when Danish became superior and they want to conquer England, King Alfred insisted people to translate Latin text into English language. Then only, even if Danish defeated, even if Danish people defeat English people, at least the language and English people are protected. So that's what that is why Alfred asked his people to translate Latin text into English language. And Alfred says that to improve vernacular language, Latin text should be translated into native language. Not only that, to improve their own language also, they have to translate, they have to give importance to translation, that is translate Latin text, Latin literature into English. When he translated, when Alfred translated Cicero pastorals, he said sometimes he used word for word, and sometimes he used sense for sense. Thus, translation had a political role. So, when King Alfred translated the Latin book Cicero pastorals, in the preface he said that sometimes he used word for word translation, and sometimes he used sense for sense translation, and that is how translation got its own political role. Translation exercise was useful to improve writing style and oral style. This is said by Roman theoretician Quintilian. And a Roman theoretician, he is a great writer and as well as a critic, and he says that translation is an important exercise to improve writing style and oral style. So in order to improve our writing style as well as our speech oral style, we must often do translation exercise. That's what Quintilian says, and he further talks about the importance of paraphrasing. So Quintilian says that paraphrasing is also important to learn another language and also to learn our own language also. Okay, so he says that translation helps to improve reading and writing style. So he says that paraphrasing is important to improve our reading and writing style. And he says there are two stages in paraphrasing, and first he understands the text and next he improves his style. If you know about paraphrasing, that is a detailed explanation of a literature, a poetry or prose or even whatever it could be. So that is called as paraphrasing. By paraphrasing only, an individual can develop his reading and writing style. That is what Quintilian says. So and he says paraphrasing has two stages, and in the first one, in the first stage, if I want to paraphrase a poetry, and in the there are two stages in it, and the first stage is I have to read and understand the text. So my reading skill and my understanding ability is improved by doing this paraphrase, and then the next one is he improves his writing style. Okay, and as I write it, my writing style is also improved. And now this is an important point here. He says that both paraphrasing and translation are equally same. Okay, and the only minor difference is that in paraphrasing he is doing it within the language, and in translation he is doing it in another language, and that is what Quintilian says, and that's how he gives importance to translation. He says translation helps to improve vernacular language. To learn Latin language, Greek language should be translated. Thus, translation has had educational importance. And Quintilian further says that in order to learn another language, translation is the best method. That's what Quintilian says. And let's say if an individual is a Greek and he wants to learn Latin language, then he has to translate Greek literature into Latin literature. Okay, so then only he will be able to learn Latin language properly. That's what Quintilian says, and that is how translation got its educational importance. Okay, and Follina says two kinds of translation. One is vertical and horizontal. And actually, in the first unit, I said talked about vertical and horizontal translation, but that is a different thing. Here, Follina, this scholar says, this scholar in those days he divided translation as two types, but this is not recognized in the modern context. In those days only he said, and he says that there are two types of translation, that is vertical translation and horizontal translation. So what do you mean by vertical translation? Translator gives prestigious value to SL, especially Latin language and especially Latin language. Okay, so if I am a translator, if I give importance to SL and I am considering that my own language is great and the TL target language is inferior language, then it is called as horizontal translation. And vertical translation, the translator considers both the languages are equally good and the same. Okay, so this is said to be a vertical, horizontal translation according to Follina. So Foldner's kinds of translation, right? I mean, this is applicable only in this for this topic, and it cannot be applicable to the various kinds of translation. And Bacon talks about loss in translation. Dante talks about accessibility in translation. So Francis Bacon, and he says that when we translate, there are certain feel and certain meaning which could be a loss in that TL, and it is unavoidable also. Okay, and that's how the Bacon develops translation theory. And Dante also talks about accessibility in translation. Certain words cannot be translated in that target language. So this is a problem in translation, and that's how Dante also develops theory on translation. And both agree that both Dante and Bacon agree that translation is helpful for comparative stylistics. So in order to compare two languages, to literature, translation is an important. Translation is important. Okay, so that's what both say. And Quintilian says that translation has complexities, but there are free adaptation, borrowing, accuracy, loss and gain. Overall, translation is helpful to learn language. Okay, so Quintilian talks about various complexities in translation. Okay, he talks about free adaptation. Okay, a main idea is taken and then I myself write in my own words. That is to be free adaptation. And borrowing. Certain words I simply transliterate or borrow it and then I use it in TL. That is to be borrowing. And accuracy. The meaning, words, structure, they are all said to be accuracy, and something could be accurate and some meaning could be accurate and some meanings may not be accurate. The number of words, the word structure may be accurate and they may not be accurate, and this is another problem or idea in translation. And he talks about loss and gain. So certain feel and certain feel and certain meanings could not be translated in TL, and that is loss in translation. And gain in translation, certain feel and meaning could be added in the TL. The same feel and emotions and the meaning is translated in TL. At the same time, another meaning and another meaning is added. So this is the gain in translation. Okay. So that's how Quintilian develops translation theories, and overall everyone felt that translation is a skillful work, and it helps to learn another language. Okay, thank you.